name is Kristi Smith, and my job right now is to be a stay-at-home mom to our 3 kids, Avery, age 7, Brady, age 5, and Jay, age 2. My role as a mom, as a stay-at-home mom, is a tricky thing to kind of narrow down to a few things. It's just a complicated job description when you get right down to it, but I think that the main roles I have as a stay-at-home mom are to love those kids deeply, to nurture their hearts, to keep them alive, and to maintain our house. I think my faith journey probably started at a really young age. I accepted Christ at 12 in front of the church with the baptism, but I don't really remember a time before Jesus. But since becoming a mom, my view of God has changed a lot. In ways I really couldn't have imagined, and He uses those little people to teach me more than I could ever teach them, and like every disciplinary situation or teaching moment always comes around for me. There's always something for me in it. It's not, just about them. Sometimes it's never about them, but there's always something that God is continuing to teach me through being a mom. I can point to kind of a moment where God opened up my view for what my role as this stay-at-home mom was going to be and why He had put me there. My daughter was 3 and she had had the stomach flu, and we had been up all night with the sickness and the drinks, and she was sleeping in my bed with me, and we were back and forth, and she was just so sick, and we were a mess. We were both a mess. We looked terrible, and we were Skyping with my mom, because before she lived here, we were Skyping with her, and we're cuddling up, and my mom is saying to Avery, my daughter, she's saying, "You are so lucky. You have this mom who loves you. Look what she did, honey. She stayed up with you all night, and she did that because she loves you, and she takes care of you, and she, she's reading you all these books, and it's all just because she loves you, and isn't that so special?" And my daughter, the whole time, she's like staring up at the ceiling with this like real contemplative look on her face, and she says, "Mommy," and I said, "Yes, Avery," and she said, "Your ceiling fan is really dirty." And I was like, what? And I didn't get to see my mom's face, and I wish I would. I didn't get to see it, but I'm sure she was like, that, right there, that is parenting. Like, the reason, and she says this, "The reason that I love watching you be a mom is because you understand me so much better." And the thing is that the longer that I'm a mom, the more I understand God better too. So later that night, like brushing my teeth, and I'm thinking about this thing with her, and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, that girl, she missed the point. She totally she didn't hear anything, and she's so funny. And like in an instant, like through my thoughts went this like voice of God, "She's a lot like you." And I thought, what? And He's like, "I have all the extravagance in the world out there for you. I do this for you because I love you. I've done this for you because I love you. Everything I create around here is because I love you. And you miss me because you're looking at the dirt of the world. You're distracted by the dusty places in your life." And I thought, He's saying, don't miss me. Like, you're missing me, my girl, you're missing me. Do not let them miss me. That is your job. God is there for them. He is all around them, and He is so interested in their little lives. And so when they are big people and they're standing on their own 2 feet, and they can look around and say, I know why and who about the what that I do. I think in Deuteronomy 11, they're talking about how to love God, and they say, tie it on your hands and put it on your forehead, and bind these words to your heart, and teach your children, and talk with them when you're walking and when you're at home and when they get up and when they lie down, and write it on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. And I didn't realize for a long time, and really until just recently, that chapter starts out by saying, this is for the children who weren't there during the Exodus. They don't know me yet. You know me because you were there, but they don't really know me. So your job is to teach them, to bring them into knowing me. If I were to give words of encouragement to someone who thinks that what they do or that their life isn't valuable to God's kingdom, I think that I would say, do not underestimate your significance. if God can consider wiping noses and picking up toys and listening to 100 billion terrible knock-knock jokes a day important work for his kingdom, then I think probably what you're doing is important work for his kingdom. And if nothing else, I think it's important work because somewhere in your sphere of influence there is somebody that God is leaning so close to you and saying, do not let them miss me. And if nothing else, that is the world's greatest work in its own. I think the thing that keeps me going in the chaos of raising a family is he chose me. He sent me. This is why I'm here. This is what I chose you for. I sent you here for a reason, to do your job. And it's easy to get bogged down in the process, in the mess, in the chaos, and everybody's doing different things and everyone's fighting and nothing's getting done, and this is so hard. And it's hard in those moments where things are a mess to be able to hear God's voice above my own, which is sometimes yelling, but to be able to hear God's voice, or even when I can't hear God's voice, to know what it would say. And what it would say is, I sent you here. I chose you for this. Don't let them miss me. That is your job. Do not let them miss me. And I can say when I hear that, or at least when I know it, at least when I can remember what he would say if I could hear him, that this is the reason I'm here. Take a deep breath. We're going to figure this out, and it's all going to be okay.